But yes, also my phone, I think it's my phone.
I was going to say it doesn't seem darker in here, so maybe
no.
Have you got a screen on it? Or just,
I don't have like a screen thing
just
on
the
it.
Adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think it's actually a issue with the recording.
Right.
Anyway, hello.
We'll find out.
Welcome to the podcast. If it's a bit darker than usual, I apologize. I think it's because I don't like a bright screen.
I don't either.
You know?
And every once in a while I find that it's like, I can't quite see
yes.
this.
I need to
lighten this up a little bit.
I hate
you might tell them who we are before we go totally off the rails here.
Oh, we're past that
We're
already.
way past the rails.
My name is Sharon and I am the owner of The Modern Skein, which is a yarn shop here in Conroe, Texas.
And I'm Cathie, and I am the Jill of all trades. Lately, the yarn whisperer. Because things happen in a yarn shop.
Yes, they do.
That have to be handled. And sometimes I'm the one to handle them. Sometimes I'm the one responsible. Sharon has coffee, of course.
I do.
I finished mine at 5 minutes till 6 this morning, so.
I do feel, in case you're wondering, this is their Christmas episode.
Yes, this is the Christmas episode. Can I stand up and show the rest of my...
You think I'm not going to stand up?
Yes, you better, because your outfit is so cute. That's why I want to go first.
Yes.
I don't want to follow you. Okay, this is the Winter Doodle sweater by Jamie Lomax, Pacific
Knit Co?
Whatever. Anyway, with her doodles, and I did mine short sleeve because we're in Texas, although it's chilly this morning, so I have a little sweater over. The sweater I have over this, well, let me say that 95% of the yarn in the tee is red stag fiber cottage sock. Cottage sock does not have a white, so I threw in a little bit of Sanduscarn Sunday for the white portions. And my cardigan is the Beaufort 5 by Isabel Kramer, knit in red stag fiber Highland Sport, which, as we're filming this, the warehouse sale is going on.
By the time you see this,
that will be over.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready?
I want to see this because this is just so fun.
This looks just so cozy.
Yeah,
casual.
that just looks. Yeah, like okay, you got on your jeans and
so. The Griswolds and National Lampoon Family Christmas Vacation, whatever the heck it's called, is my favorite Christmas movie.
Okay. But look at this. We've got the skirt. And
yes, Duncan, my cat, looked at me as though I have lost my mind this morning. I swear the cat did like this and looked at me like,
have you seen the memes on Instagram where you're going out looking like that, lady?
Oh yeah.
The
I'm not telling you shouldn't walk me out in this, but you shouldn't walk me. People are going to judge you.
Right?
So hello and welcome. It is a knitting podcast.
It is a knitting podcast.
But yeah.
And I am full of finished objects.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Okay, I feel like we need a little backstory because it has been a hot minute since we have filmed.
It has been.
We did not film at all in November.
No, we did not.
Yeah.
But you know what?
It's
November
okay.
only had 3 days in it. Just saying.
Yeah,
Just
Thanksgiving
saying. It
Day.
felt that way.
Oh my gosh. So it was a hot mess express for us. And normally Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays. I always host. It ended up that we weren't hosting this year, which I was totally fine with. And so glad at the end of the day because we had broken water pipes.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Stuff.
Yes.
So November was a hot mess, and I wanted it to be over with as quickly as possible.
So
yeah, we didn't
November.
get film.
Flew by.
I also barely knit, I think, since honestly Rhinebeck weekend.
Well, we'll get into my story about that a little bit later.
So yes, we have been to India Entangled, and we came back. We technically didn't go to Rhinebeck. It did not line up with our schedule.
But we talked about that because you talked about the food and all the good stuff.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So, don't worry. I ate my fill at India Entangled. I think the donut cart was like tired of seeing me.
It's bad when they know your name. When you walk up and there's thousands of people around, but no, they know you.
They're like, well, you already had this one and this one. Do you want to try this one?
Well, let's get started.
Yes.
Because I'm really proud of this one. Y'all know, if you've watched any of the past episodes, that I was so fired up about my Ekko tea. And then it kind of got shoved aside for all kinds of different reasons. Nothing really to have anything to do with the particular project, the yarn, the pattern, or anything. It's just one of those things that happens to us knitters sometimes. But I finished it. And I've actually worn it a few times.
Good.
It is so comfortable. This is knit in red stag fiber Yorkshire fingering in the colorway antique leather. But look at those luscious cables. And it's one of those, to me, this is a perfect, this is a perfect winter piece because
look at the detailing
yes,
of the sleeve, the shoulder. Just the details alone on this sweater, I think, set it apart.
This is honestly a pattern that I quite likely will knit again. It was fun. It was engaging. A little bit of the construction was a little bit different than anything I'd done before because normally at least for the patterns that I've knit, when you pick up for a sleeve and there's some shoulder shaping, some short row shoulder shaping, you pick up the armhole, you knit around, and you go a little bit past, and you come back, and then you do your short rows. The unique thing about this one was you pick up all your stitches, then you attach a new piece of yarn and actually start at the top of the shoulder and work it back and forth. So you don't kind of get that extra 3/4 of a row or half of a row.
Yeah,
it was very interesting, and it makes it fit so well.
Well, and
so I'm very, very happy.
The other
with
thing
this.
I will say is this was written by a man.
Yes.
Designed with men's body
Yes.
shapes in mind.
Yes.
But here's the thing. You've always said you've got broad shoulders.
I do have broad shoulders.
And so I think that's one reason why this tee fits you so well.
So well? Could be.
Compared to, I mean, there's a lot of
I probably
ladies.
should have tried it on and showed you, but
It's okay.
It's a little chilly in here.
It is. But like, I would say I have average shoulders. Some people have really narrow shoulders.
Right.
Other people have broad shoulders. And so that's something to keep in mind when you're knitting a pattern. You're like, it doesn't fit me as well as maybe the people that you see either modeling it or on project pages. Well, I mean, body, makeup,
shape,
compositions,
whatever.
Shapes, bone structures do play a role. And so that is something, if you know, I have really broad shoulders compared to the rest of my body. Well, maybe look at more structured, wider shouldered garments.
I hadn't thought about that, Sharon, but you're so right.
Well, and that's one thing why I think, like, we know for the most part, circular yoke sweaters don't fit well on me. And I don't know why. I truly don't, because you would think being kind of normal shouldered shaped.
I'm going to say this. This is a round shoulder, okay? And I think it has to do with the way that it comes around the arms, because since I am broad shouldered, my back pulls some of this extra fabric, so to speak. I mean, it's not really extra fabric, but part of my chest measurement is really more in my back than it is in my front. Okay. And so maybe that has something to do with it.
And I'm not well endowed at all. And so there's nothing to like compensate and pull things around. So it does, if it's not very fitted, it can look like a absolute sack of potatoes on me. And that's just, I mean, yes, I love a good oversized sweatshirt, but it's still structured.
But you don't want everything you have to be oversized, comfy, not sloppy, slouchy
yeah.
looking.
Yeah.
So Okay, I know you're short on finished objects. Can I go to one more first?
You do one more, and then I'll talk about my very old finished object
Okay.
that never made the light of day on here.
All right. So my second one is part of the Fish Girls Make Along, and this is my Happy Fins sweater.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is Happy Fins is by Annalisa, and I knit this out of Andorra. Andorra? Did I say that correctly?
Yep,
Yeah, okay,
you did.
Andorra. And if you will remember from previous episodes, I was going to use Spincycle, but I didn't like the lack of contrast. The bubbles are just very vague. So I ended up using, again, Red Stag Fiber Yorkshire Sport in the colorway Gilded for my fish and turned them into goldfish.
They're so cute.
And the sleeves are 3/4 bracelet length. Who the heck knows? I actually looked it up to see what's the difference, and it's kind of like whatever you call it. But I like the detail of the little fins down
That's
here
cute.
on the bottom. And so this is another one I'm very, very happy with, and looking forward to getting a lot of wear out of.
Okay. So this was technically finished right before we left for DFW. But for whatever reason on the next following podcast, I did not show it. And I don't believe I spoke about it except other than, oh yeah, I do have a finished object I forgot to bring. So this is the Ivy Tea. Ta-da!
Which has also gotten some wear.
It has.
I have seen you
I have
wearing
worn
it.
this many, many a time. I'm loving it. So this is a pattern by Petite Knit. It has that really, and this is dark yarn, so you're not going to be able to really see it, but it has that really unique shoulder shaping, kind of like we were just talking with the Ekko tee. It's done totally different, but you still get a really nice finished effect. So this is designed to be not necessarily negative ease, but to be extremely fitted, you know? And it is, and I love it. And I used Dachas sock from Red Stag Fiber in the colorway Mar. And it's the perfect blue tee.
Yes.
I love it. So it's been, now for me, it's been too cold to wear a short sleeve because I am always freezing.
She's freezing.
Yeah.
Sweating. She's freezing. Yes.
So that is my old finished object.
Okay. Do we want to go to my next one because I've got something to segue from that one.
Okay, yeah, you go
Okay.
next. Yeah.
All right. So we hosted a Spincycle make along. Connie and I did, and my project for that was The Wanderer by Maxim Cyr, and this is the Spincycle portion is open water, which I am in love with. Imagine that. Duh. Like we knew. And the body of it is in British Sport from Les Garcons, which I thought was fitting since it's Max's pattern.
Yep.
In the colorway Remys Peach. And this is another one I am really, really happy with. I have worn it a few times out in the mornings, walking my little dog. And hopefully now that it's chillier, I'll wear it some more. But I really love the colors and the way it came out.
How many skeins of Spincycle did it end up taking you?
Okay.
I know we were going back and forth.
Let
How
me
many?
say that I did cheat. Okay. I stopped I believe it was 6 rows short on the Spincycle because I finished the skein.
So just
I
one?
did not want to go into another skein for 6 rows.
So just one skein?
skein
Oh, wow.
of Spincycle dyed in the wool.
Wow. And what
And
size
I knit.
pattern?
I wanted this to be a loose fitting, as we're talking about fit.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be kind of a sweatshirty
Yeah.
type, and so I think the size was the 47 or 48 inch
Oh, okay.
chest. So a decent sized sweater for
Yeah.
sure, with one skein of Spincycle. And the way the pattern's written, even if you ended another 2 or 3 rows up, it would still look cute.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take away from it.
So if you've got that special skein of Spincycle
This
that
is
you've had your
great
eye on.
pattern to use it on.
And you know what else would be cute? Since it was originally designed for 4 colors it for your contract?
Yes, yeah. He designed it for, I think you're right, 4 colors, 3 or 4. I'm pretty sure 4.
If you've got a bunch of leftover Spincycle and you like a scrappy look, just use up all your scraps of Spincycle and just let them, random.
Figure out what order you want to put them in.
That would be so fun.
And then you've got a garment that really, to me, really shows off the Spincycle. It really lets it shine.
Yeah.
So
especially if you've got a lot of wild and crazy Spincycle colors, then do like a black or gray or really
something very neutral
kind of background and
just let it shine. So, and again, I know it seems like a lot of stockinette, but it went really quickly to me. It just, I think the gauge is loose enough and all that it just flew by. So there's that one. I have one more finished object I forgot about. Okay, let's talk about you not knitting, not having time to knit.
Yes.
Okay. I was on this totally bam, 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 finish. And then it was like, now what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And I was in one of those funks. One of those went through my queue. I mean, not like I don't have 172 things in my queue. Patterns that I own that I want to knit. And
I need to talk about
yarn and all kinds of things. I mean, it's not like, and these were things, obviously I put them in my queue. I like them.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do. So I knit Thumper a Santa sweater.
It is so freaking adorable.
I used, this is Red Stag Fiber Estate DK for everything except for the white parts, which again, I had the leftover Sunday from my Christmas sweater that I'm wearing. I just doubled it.
Yeah.
And to do the little neck and the little bottom parts, I had used a little of the same gilded from my Wanderer. From my Happy Fins for the buckle. And I just had fun with this.
It's so cute.
And so he's been wearing it around. I wouldn't let him wear it this morning. I knew this would be the time he would roll in a puddle, right? So this is my little Christmas dog sweater. The pattern I used was Stephen West's pup sweater pattern. I have the striped one, and I just didn't do the stripes. I just kind of eyeballed it and said, oh, well, here's a good place for the belt. I had already knit him another sweater from that pattern, so I knew where things were going to happen. And so that was kind of my palette cleanser, and then I got in. I could get excited again.
Well, speaking of palette cleansers, yes, I have been off and on in a knitting funk. I've been really busy with work stuff. It's just been very busy. And then, the shop takes a lot of time and all the things. So we're also in the process, and I think I've talked about this, of trying to get our house sold on the market. So keeping it cleaned and just that whole
having
nightmare.
A house show ready at all times.
And then having a
hassle.
We've had Duncan has been sick.
Yes.
He is, we think, 100% pretty much on the mend now that we have, all the fingers and toes crisscrossed.
Please. None of this, by the way, has been life-threatening type stuff. It's not like he's got, something really serious. But it's just been a series of this is wrong, that's wrong. What's wrong?
It's bad when yesterday he goes in for his follow-up appointment, and I'm like, well, there's something else. And he's like, the vet. What now, Duncan? I'm like, I know, right? What now? But he is, like I said, very much on the mend. And it's been stressful, and I haven't wanted to knit much. So one thing I did do while I wasn't knitting was go through all my whips. I ripped out, I think I ended up 6 old whips that I knew I don't want to do. Yeah. One that I didn't even like the yarn. I literally took the needles out, wadded it into a ball, and tucked it in the garbage. I'm not for that normally.
I know when it hurts to say that, but sometimes it's like, I think it comes down to this for me, and see if you agree.
Yeah.
I don't like the yarn. I bought it on a whim or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe it was gifted to you. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we don't even remember how we acquire things. But I don't like this yarn. I don't like this yarn so much that I don't even want to give this yarn to somebody.
And
sometimes that happens.
That was kind of my thing. And not only that, like I had one person when I think I mentioned it kind of on Instagram stories or whatever, and they're like, well, somebody might have really enjoyed that. And I was like, yes, but the way that the item that I was knitting, it was like the yarn had been cut in multiple pieces, so you would have had to piece it back together.
Even worse.
It had a pretty intense mohair content. It's going to be a nightmare to rip it out.
Yeah.
No. Now, that being said, I had another project that I ripped out that I did really like the yarn and the fabric that the item was making. It was the pattern that was not suitable for me.
Okay. And that happens too.
Yep.
Sometimes you think, oh, that's great, and then no. I mean, it's just like closing the store.
Oh yeah.
You know, it looks great on the mannequin. You get in the dressing room, you think, what was I thinking?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Like the skirt. No.
No. Oh, but that's fun.
Yes, it is fun. No, and so the other one I ripped it back and wound it up here in the world's most giantest cake.
Huge cake of yarn.
And I already have a pattern in my queue, which this is what I was going to say. So on Ravelry, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can search for and I do this all the time. I'm looking for cardigans in DK weight with such and such stitch gauge, blah, blah, blah. So you can really filter it down. Well, there's another button on the side where you can say free pattern, available on Ravelry, which I don't even know why that's really there, because if it's there.
Well, I do. Sometimes there's patterns on Ravelry that are in books.
Or discontinued.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, the pattern's not really there, but it there.
Is.
The title is there.
Yeah.
The title's there. It may be basic information.
Yeah. So, but then there's another button that it says in my library. And I've been using that lately because I have over 500 patterns that I have either downloaded and either paid for or been gifted to me or free that I've saved in my library over the years.
I don't know how many I have in my library. I just talked about how many I had in my queue.
Yeah.
And some of those, probably 85-90% of those in my queue, I do have the patterns for.
Sure.
But I know I have more patterns in my library than that.
Wow.
Ooh, and that's something I probably ought to go through and take a look at.
Yeah. And so I loved the stitch gauge of this yarn. It was a 14 stitch gauge. It was several several yarns held together. And so I pulled up basically, I just put 14 stitch gauge sweater, and I knew I wanted a pullover in my library. And it actually populated, I think, 10 or 12 patterns.
Okay.
But then I saw in there the Stay Cozy, and I believe it's by Shayna Billow.
I think that's right.
It was done in collaboration with Chelsea Yarns.
Thank
Christina.
you.
Yep, it came.
I was looking, seeing her, and the name was not coming to me.
So I was like,
yes,
and did it say cozy? Yes, because it's the V-neck.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, when this pattern came out, I wanted to knit it desperately, and then life happened, and blah blah. This would be the perfect thing. And so I already have it cast on, set aside, recast on. So I'm not considering it really a new cast on-ish.
But it is.
It is. But that's kind of it's because it's basically just stockinette. I'm really tired. I don't want to think.
But I want to knit.
But I want to knit. And so I've been slowly knitting on that. Back to October, I guess. I don't even know when I started this. I think it was October.
I think so. Towards the end of October.
I was like, maybe a palette cleansing project would help me get my knitting mojo back. And so there was a beautiful skein of Spincycle in Something Wicked, right? Is it Something Wicked?
I think so.
And everybody was all afire for the Bonnie and Clyde scarves that Isabel Kramer wrote. And so I knit one. Ta-da! So this is the Bonnie, and I did it, quote unquote, backwards from what everyone else is doing. So I used Spincycle as my main body, and then this is Camper in the colorway Cinnamon Heather, which unfortunately has been discontinued.
Oh, of course.
Every time I pick a color, I feel like it gets discontinued.
Right.
For the little bubbly bubble stitches. And then, of course, I have enough to do the Clyde reversed. So the main body of the Clyde would be in the cinnamon with just little accent stripes of Spincycle, which I think is a fun way to use up, again, one of those single skeins of Spincycle.
Because
Look at you. Because see, look how cute.
look, I have just cast mine on. And I'm doing it in reverse. In other words, I am using the Spincycle as the contrast color.
Yep.
I think, I was looking for my skein and I can't find it. I think this might either be a skein of robin's egg or
Possibly.
silver lining, one of the two,
Yeah, either way it could be.
I think.
I feel like silver linings would have more green in it, but it could also just be the batch.
This has like a little bit of pinkish in it.
No.
Oh, what is it?
This is Next Level that I brought you from.
No, I
you
used
it up?
Next Level in my seahorse. I thought I had the
I don't
skein.
know.
Evidently, I didn't have the Spincycle skein because I am breaking off in between.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, and Brick Tavern in
Very
Yorkshire
nice.
fingering for my main color, and then I will do the same, and I will reverse them for the Clyde. So you and I
We'll have-
similar colors, but totally
different.
totally different look. What fun!
Fun. Just super fun, to put this.
This is what I call an accent.
Yeah.
This is not something that's designed necessarily as a warmth shawl or a block the wind cowl. This is just a fun little accessory.
And you know what I would
To
totally
use?
do is take my handbag
Oh,
and
100%.
tie it around the handle
100%.
for my purse.
Yeah.
That's
So-
what I will do with this. So, that's the last of my finished objects.
Well, I have 2 whips. That was my only, well, not my only new cast on, because one of the whips I'm going to show you was a new cast on when I got my knitting mojo back.
Okay.
But I want to talk about this one first.
Okay.
Which is not going to need a whole lot of showing because I've shown it so many times. This is the Cathie cardigan. And I kind of set it aside because I didn't get it finished before the cooler weather hit. But I want to talk about something because people come in the shop and I think sometimes they think, because Sharon and I do knit a lot and we do complete a lot of things. And sometimes I think they think we never make mistakes. Well, I hit the end of a skein of yarn and I still have some more I want to do on the body, but I decided, well, let me just go ahead and do the sleeves. Sleeves are short sleeve, it won't take long. So, well, first of all, let me tell you that with the time change, gloomy skies, and trying to pick up stitches with this black yarn, not the easiest thing, just because of my eyesight and the light. But I got the stitches picked up, and the pattern's straightforward. There's nothing wrong with the pattern, but there is German short row shaping on this. No problem. Yeah. So I'm just going along, and I got involved in a TV show. Don't even ask me what. I don't remember, but I got involved. And before long, I was to the point where I was through with the short rows, except that I still had like 20 stitches on one side, and I was completely all the way around on the other side. So we kind of a lopsided sleeve. So I ripped it out. No, I didn't rip it out completely.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to pick up those stitches again. I actually ripped back to about, I don't know, a couple of rows before the pickup row, and then unknit And so I'm now ready to start again, but I will be more mindful to pay attention to what I'm doing instead of getting involved in a TV program. And I don't know if I think what I was doing on one side is I thought I got to a double stitch, so I just called it one and went, and I honestly don't know.
That's funny.
But yes, so people, not perfect by a long shot. But you know what? I'm still enjoying this pattern. I'm enjoying the yarn. It's the Mojave in black, and it's like, it's okay. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm not disgusted or displeased. I'm not unhappy with anything about it other than just my lack of paying attention.
Yeah.
So that one's going to get a little bit more love and should be finished before long.
Excuse me.
Have you got a new cast on?
No, this is not new. This is old.
Oh, yeah, because you have talked about that
I have
before.
talked about this. So this is the Jaunty by
I'm still loving
Andrea Mowry. And this was one of those, maybe a short project will get me out of my knitting funk. And, I mean, obviously, this has helped.
Right? But it's beautiful. I love that.
Is.
I just love the colors in it.
So this is Standard Blues by Spincycle. The pattern in here is just a very simple half fisherman's rib. So if you've done the inclinations cowl or shawl, it's it's the same stitch pattern. And I just right here joined my second ball of Spincycle. I pulled 3 because I wanted to make the medium-ish size. And so my plan is to basically, because these are 50 gram skeins, get it down to about
halfway.
26, 27 grams, and then start my decreasing to go down and use up all of my Spincycle, but have a really pretty navy blue.
It's just going to be so gorgeous.
Burgundy thing.
That is really going to be beautiful. Well, if you watched the episode in August, around the time of my birthday, I was gifted some British DK by a lovely friend, knitter, who preferred not to be named. So I have held on to this yarn thinking I want to find the pattern for it. I want to find the pattern that I want to do with this. So I found the pattern and cast this on. This is the shockers, the Firth sweater by Rebecca Clow. But I'm not knitting it in Mowry Firth. I'm knitting it in Jason's Aqua in Les Garcons British DK. And I am about 2 rows, 3 rows, less than 4, away from joining in the round.
Oh, okay.
And the interesting thing about this one is it's pretty much basic stockinette, but with a little bit of ribbing detail that's going to run down the sides. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So
that's going to be really cute.
It's gonna. I think it is. I'm going to be very pleased with this one. So that was
very nice.
My new cast on whip current obsession. And the great thing about this is because it's so much stockinette, I'm not getting off pattern while I'm watching my very intense shows. Okay, confessions.
What are you watching right now?
I had Death in Paradise.
Of course.
Came back on BritBox. And that is what, I think I've watched every episode at least 3 times. I love that show. And so they've come out with a new season. So that's the one I have been into recently. So anyway.
So when I was going through all my whips, there were 2 that are like old whips, but I was like, I just found a mistake right there. I'm not fixing it.
Nobody else will know.
Nope. And I'm not going to point it out to you, so you guys can know either.
People are still searching for that one stitch mistake on one of my toaster
100%.
tees. They still haven't found it.
Nope.
And I've worn it several times.
So one of the whips that has been very long standing whip has been the Traveler it's technically, the pattern's called Traveler Hoodie by Andrea Mowry. But look.
Yay.
So here's what I've done to actually make progress. Because last time y'all saw it, that's about all that was done.
Yeah.
Is for whatever reason, the stitch repeat, which is just knits and purls, is incredibly mind-numbing to me and boring. So what I did was when I cleaned out all my stuff, I put it all in a bag, one of my old, very old Isabel B bags, and I set it next to where I sit at night in TV. And I was like, if I want to knit, this is the only project I can knit. I put all my other whips in a bag, or in a box, in bags, in a box, in a closet, made it very hard.
Because the house has to be show ready.
Yeah. And so this was the only thing accessible. Guess what? It works!
Progress! Yay!
So I have officially finished the body. I've gone ahead and done, I'm doing the crew neck version, not the hoodie. So the crew neck is done. And I picked up and started my sleeves yesterday. Now, again, talking about mistakes, this is the third attempt at picking up the sleeves. Not because picking up sleeves is hard, but because this whip is so old, I forgot what size I was knitting.
Oops. Yeah.
So when you pick up
That's happened before.
twice the wrong amount of stitches, it gives you a very weird, funky looking sleeve. So I now have figured out what size I'm knitting.
Okay.
And have cast on or picked up the appropriate number of stitches, and now it looks like a sleeve.
Like it should.
Like it should. So I am going to, and yes, it looks incredibly short, but you also have to remember with this fabric, it's going to relax quite a bit. So I am working on the sleeve, and that's really all I have to say about it. Other than I am keeping this by my chair, or taking it in the car, like if I'm not driving. This comes with me everywhere. Even if it's just a row or two, it's a row or two
It's progress.
more.
It's
is.
progress.
So that's that project. Do you have any more?
I am OUT.
Then I'm going to talk about this one because this is my other. I believe we talked about back in August again. When we had the Ritual Dyes trunk show.
Yes.
How much I fell in love.
How could I forget about this one, because multiple conversations have ensued regarding it.
So many times. I fell in love with the sample that the lovely ladies at Ritual Dyes sent over, and it was of the sheep camp sweater by the Native Knitter, which had been in my library for I don't know how long, honestly. And I fell in love with the color combination, which is Ritual Dyes Maiden in the chestnut, and the contrast is Bitterroot, I think is the name of it. But anyway, long story short, I loved the sample so much that I made Cathie measure every detail of the sweater.
We measured that sample because she tried it on and liked the way that it fit. So, I mean, we measured it up, down, sideways, back and forth, where you did the splits, what the gauges was, how deep the yoke was, anything you could measure regarding this particular sweater.
So, there are a couple things to note, because we measured the sweater and we said 19 stitch gauge. Great. I loved the fabric of it. You open up the pattern, and the first thing it says is 22 stitch gauge and 15 rounds. And I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how they did that. So we go blah, 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 blah. Because my brain immediately stops reading further.
Right.
If I would have read the next sentence, it says, pattern gauge after blocking using a size 7 is 19.5 stitches and 29 rounds.
Okay. Oops.
Actually, I'm reading this again. It's actually slightly different. Okay, look. No, it says 22 stitches in charted pattern after blocking, 19.5 in stockinette after blocking. This is why you read your patterns multiple times.
Yes.
And sometimes have other people check.
Yes.
Because
and sometimes read out loud, even if it's to your cat, your dog, your armchair.
Yes. So anyway, the other thing, and I'll show you this, it's hard to see on her pattern, but you can really see it on others.
Whoop, whoop, your ornaments.
Popped an ornament.
Oh, well, I know how to
fix
fix
it.
I know how to fix those.
Okay.
Done lots of that in my lifetime.
It's a very tight rolled neck. Well, you can go back on Instagram and see it's not super tight. It's a little bit relaxed, and there's not very many rows. Well, when I did it to the pattern, I had like this much fabric all up in here and everything, and it's like no amount of blocking is going to relax this or change this.
No.
So I took the pictures I took, and I was like zooming in, counting how many rows. It appears that the sample they sent, they did not do any of the what would be considered the collar rows. So there's like a several row rolled collar, and then there's base rows, and then you start the chart, and the chart starts with doing different increases and things, but you don't start the color work for 7 more rows. So I think what they did is they just cast on, did the short row, and immediately did the chart.
That was the conclusion that we were, I think,
And
there were several
now-
of us involved in this conversation.
Now it looks like the sample.
Yes.
And so I'm happy.
Yes.
And I believe once I have it blocked, it will be the gauge, and it will fit the way that the sample knit fit. So I'm enjoying it, knitting it. I love a good color work. I do. Look at that.
And it looks
so good.
great.
I love it. So very happy, even though, again, this was one that got started multiple times. It's fine.
Sometimes that's just the way things go.
Yeah.
And I think people sometimes get frustrated over that without considering the fact that anytime you're doing anything creative and handmade, that there will be false starts. There will be times when you change your mind about, okay, well, I thought I wanted to do that, but no. I've swatched 3 times now for a sweater I really want to knit. I really want to knit this pattern, but I'm still searching for that right yarn combination. And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, because I'll let the swatch sit and I'll look at it and then I'll say, no, that's just not right. So then I'll try something else.
That's me
and
with
I'll
the
go
rug sweater.
a different direction with it and say, well, let me try this. And that to me is part of the, I don't know if I want to say it's the joy of it, but it's kind of like the satisfaction of the hunt. Once you find it, then it's like you've really found it.
Yeah.
You really are like, this is it, absolutely, positively, because you've tried some other things that didn't necessarily work. So it's not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
And also, I found one of my swatches is like, okay, no, I don't want it for this sweater, but this is kind of interesting the way this worked out with this yarn. So now I'm kind of thinking, okay, I'm taking a different route with the yarn that I might not have thought of otherwise.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
it's all good.
It is. lots of knitting adventures, crocheting adventures.
Right.
Just try things.
Try things.
And it's not the end of the world if it doesn't
if
work.
it doesn't work out,
Yeah.
it doesn't work out. You try something else.
Exactly. That's life.
It is.
Now that we've
Speaking
ended with
of
a
life.
philosophical note.
Right? Well, I just heard Suri's feeder go off.
Yes.
And you know what? It's so funny to me. Her feeder goes off. She makes a bit of a beeline for it. And then I immediately think, I need to eat something.
That's a bit of a Pavlov's
I
dog.
believe so. I believe it's an indication. Well, I am so accustomed to the timing patterns in the shop and the studio and doing all the things that, like, I know what time it is based on how certain things are happening.
It's true.
And so I'm thinking, yeah.
Oh, and I haven't eaten breakfast
And you
yet.
haven't eaten you cooked your breakfast or
Warmed
heated
it
it up.
up.
I don't know how warm it is now.
It's
but
not.
It's not.
It's not. It'll have to be warmed up again. It's fine.
But that's okay.
Yes.
We've learned with Sharon that it takes multiple trips to the microwave for almost anything, right? To
Yes.
get finished.
So
Holiday wishes?
holiday wishes. I will say I hope it is an uneventful Christmas season.
Well, it's going to be pretty eventful for me. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just a little on the anxious side because I'm going to be flying with Thumper
Yep.
I have never flown with an animal before. Now, he's very well behaved. He travels very well. I'm not as concerned about him himself as I am about me trying to handle everything.
Yeah.
So it will be an adventure for me.
No, we don't really have, I mean, we just have our family Christmas stuff and everything. We should, knock on wood, be able to film another podcast before the holidays. If not, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yes.
And Happy New Year.
And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy gatherings, friends, family. You know, this has been a tough year for a lot of people. Yes. So take some time to just be present in the moment and enjoy the little things, because once I arrive at my destination, it's not going to be like a big, huge celebration or anything. We're going to play board games and eat stuff that we don't normally eat.
Well, and
fudge and things, you know.
I'm on a diet. Shush.
I know.
But yes, no. Yes, no.
What? Yes, no. Yes, no.
It is, you know, we've all had a really, for some of us, great, or some of us not so great year. And I think that's the motto I want to take into next year is, yes, work hard and everything, but also enjoy and just savor the moment.
Right.
Because things happen.
Things happen that are totally out of our control.
Absolutely. And
even though I'm always held responsible.
Yes. But anyway, have a very happy Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy all the
Kwanzaa,
different
whatever
different
your holiday celebrations involve.
Have a very
Enjoy
merry
them.
one, and have a happy new year, and we will see you around the shop.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.